on any discussion item. If there are any speakers, please let us know now. You can wave, we could see you, or raise the hand button. Anybody, Danica?
I see no hands.
Okay, moving on. We're going to discussion action item. The first one is an action item. We're gonna talk about and identify up to 4 commissioners to serve on the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Quality Standards Ad Hoc Committee. We'll vote to approve 4, and I think Carla Alvarez is going to walk us through it. Yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carla.
Hi, good evening, commissioners. On behalf of the library, we're very pleased to share that we will begin the process of developing the quality standards for equity, diversity, and inclusion to guide the evaluation and improvement of our programs at the library and the city at large. And as with the development of our past quality standards, our staff are in the process of conducting research on some preliminary standards to be reviewed and considered, and then integrating the feedback from the ad hoc committee members. So we invite tonight interested commissioners to participate as ad hoc committee members. And Danica, if you can go to the next slide. These are the deliverables and outcomes to give an idea of the scope of work. So we'll be meeting twice over the course of the summer, once in late July and once in late June and July, and then if needed, an additional meeting in early August. And they will be 2.5 hours each. And we are hoping to have the selected, the ad hoc committee members provide subject matter expertise around issues of equity, diversity, and inclusion, recommend literature, resources, and tools that would inform program design, implementation, and evaluation with an equity lens, and develop or recommend quality assessments, tools, and experience surveys that we could incorporate into our programming. And we also invite recommendations for other subject matter experts and or community leaders, especially of those with lived experience and voices representative of Black, Indigenous, Latinx, and other communities of color, as well as gender and sexual diversity, older adults, and people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I think there's one more slide, Danica. Yes, so some of the skills and knowledge is experience providing programs and services to underrepresented and underserved communities, familiarity with equity, diversity, and inclusion frameworks and strategies, and use of data in terms of program evaluation. Are there any questions? If there is anyone who is eager to join the committee, we are more than happy and enthusiastically welcome you to the committee at this moment. But if you have additional questions and you want to follow up, please feel free to contact Jill or myself, and I will put my contact information in the chat in case you'd like to follow up.
So are there any commissioners here today that are interested? We're looking to approve up to 4 who have either expertise, lived experience, passion around equity, diversity, and inclusion, and thinking about putting together quality standards for our programs around this. Do we know, Jose says, do we know what times those meetings will be, or has that not been decided yet?
It's tentatively set for, if you go back to the last slide, Danica, we've selected these dates in the week, and we've tentatively selected early in the morning. So either 8 to 10 or 10 to 12, but it's subject also to see best availability of the committee members. And we're flexible on dates also.
Right. So this is for commissioners. I see Kristen Browner in the audience has put a question in, but this is, we're looking for commissioners right now at this point. And the commissioners, is it true, Carla, then you'll figure out if there's other content experts from the community to invite once the commission is decided. Okay, does that answer it? should answer it for Kristen. Okay, I saw Jose, anybody else that has, of the commissioners that have interest?
Don't see any additions to the chat.
If not, Carla, I'm happy to join in particular around the inclusion part, as I have some lived experience and some educational experience. Happy to join should we not get others. How about that?
Thank
you. The other thing is we have how many commissioners missing, Danica? How many are not here today?
Oh goodness, let me pull up my little chart here.
Seems like there was 4 or 5.
I believe 5. So let me see. Kristen Rivers. Again, math. I'm so good at this on the spot.
It's around 4 or 5, I think. You're right.
I believe so.
So,
4.
Carla, go ahead, Jose.
Sorry about that. Sorry for interrupting. I was going to say same on mine. I would just have to confirm some of the dates on mine, just because I know that's the time we're doing training with some of our core members that I lead. So I'd be interested. I just need to confirm some logistics on my side.
Chris, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I'm interested as well. I'm in the same boat though as Commissioner Magana, where I'm looking at the dates already and the times, and I don't think they're going to work. But if I can move my schedule around and we can work on that, then I'll be pleased to join.
Great, yeah, and we can explore scheduling if this is an issue as well.
That's great, Carla. So it sounds like we have Commissioner Mendoza, Commissioner Magana, Commissioner or Chair Mahaney-Gurahu. Any others? Carla, could we also leave it open and send it out to the other commissioners that are not present? Because I really want to make sure they all get the opportunity to learn about it and see if they're interested as well.
Absolutely, yes.
And if there are 2, I'm going to bow out. If there are not 2, I'll stay in, okay? All right, so we have 3 commissioners at this point, and we also are going to hold it open for our missing counterparts. So we have to take a vote. Can I have someone make a motion to approve the 3 commissioners that are here that we've identified to be on the ad hoc committee?
Commissioner Trudell, I'll make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can I have a second?
Second, Allen.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. Any discussion? All right, let's go for the vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say nay. Anybody who needs to abstain?
I will abstain. This is Vice Chair Magana.
I also will abstain because I think you're doing it, Jose, because we are the people. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, I will too.
Add me then.
Okay, thanks. All right, onward. Next topic is our, and I think you all got it. I'm just putting it up to my little camera, but our work plan, and this is an informational item. We're going to be talking about our work plan. We vote on the work plan in June. And so we're going to kind of go over the framework that's already kind of set in, that Anne and the great staff with Jill, everybody has worked on to go through and look and see if there's anything that the commissioners are interested in. And what will happen is staff will go back and start working on it with whatever additions we have, and then come back to us in June with a proposed final work plan. So if folks got the chance to look at it, I want to open, let's see, Jill's not here, so that's okay. Are we good just to go and open up, let the commissioners let us know if there's anything of interest?
Yes, and I think it's clear, but just to make crystal clear, you're providing us feedback at this time. You will vote to approve this next month. So there's no vote needed. This is really a discussion item.
Correct.
Thank you, Ann. So I'm just going to get one right off the gate to get us started. And I wonder where there's an update for childcare, early education, and looking at whatever work the library is going to do. And I don't know how that's going to play out, but on getting into the early education childcare, whether it's we do a facility or something else. I'd love to know more about that somewhere in our work plan and work on it.
Sure. So the largest portion of that work, and it's really the programmatic update for early education, will come in September with the
Okay.
and digital literacy strategy annual report. But I'll look to Vidya and Michelle or not. And I know Araceli and Deborah are on the call too, but I'm sure that we could add a supplemental report later on in the year that's specifically about that maybe is based on a referral from the commission based on your interest for childcare work, you know, supplemental for facilities work or other programmatic work, but there will be a significant update on the programmatic piece in September.
Excellent.
Are there other moments that might be strategic for us to bring an update back?
We could also look to see with our partners in PRNS, because they are doing a lot of work in this for NSC direction, and we could see where that synergy comes in and where that reporting is with our PR.
Excellent.
And then,
Oh, Michelle, we lost you. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I said that we could work together PRNS and then figure out when they have to do the reporting back, and then figure out where that synergy is, and then pick a date that's going to make some sense for that reporting, because they're really integral in that, especially in the emergency response that we've been working with county and city.
Great. Commissioner Allen has her hand raised. Go for it, Janice.
I just had a question. Maybe it's just me, but why both in August and then the following June, it says election of fiscal year 21-22 officers and adopt 21-22 work plan, both in August of 2021 and June of I don't know, maybe I'm just not understanding it.
No, we've held placeholders in both positions because it tends to be the case that around the summer months, we have a drop off in attendance and we don't always make quorum. So we just hold a position on both agendas just in case. We can't adopt 1 month and need to adopt a different month, or can't hold elections 1 month and need to do it a different month. There is a typo at the bottom in June. That should be 22-23.
Okay, that's what I was asking, because I wasn't sure why that was 21-22 instead of 22-23.
That was
just my oversight.
Just a typo. Okay, no problem. Thank you.
I love this inclusion of a staff spotlight. I think that I've noticed those are throughout, which we've not, well, since I've been here, we've not done before. And so I'm really happy to see us to get to know the staff of the library better through this kind of forum. So I'm happy to see that. Others, are there other work that folks believe we have to think about and get proposed to put into our work plan? All right, going once. You can always email, of course, Jill, and anything comes up later and you went, oh, I forgot. Happy to do it, and then we'll bring it again in June for approval. All right, moving along. We are at C, information, the Early Education Workforce Development Program update with Vidya and Araceli. And of course, we're really excited to hear about all the amazing stuff going on. So if you both are ready, I'll hand it over. I'm looking for them. Did we lose them, Danica?
I see Araceli.
Oh, there's Vidya.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us to present. This report will be presented by Araceli, who is our early education manager, and Deborah, who is leading this work for the library.
So thank you so much, Vidya, and good evening, commissioners. I'm Araceli Delgado Ortiz. Like Vidya mentioned, I'm the early education manager for the San Jose Public Library. I'm joined today by my colleague, Deborah Lilazaba, early education specialist, who you'll have the pleasure of meeting shortly. We're really excited to be here with you today to provide an update on the library's family, friend, and neighbor caregiver support network. Next slide, please. Before we get into our program update, I wanted to share information that provides context to our presentation. So to begin, a little bit about family, friend, and neighbor care. Family, friend, and neighbor care, also described as kin and kith care, home-based care, informal child care, unregulated child care, license exempt care, is the most common type of non-parental child care in the United States. Although there's no consistent term or definition to describe family, friend, and neighbor care, is generally defined as home-based care in the caregiver or child's home, provided by caregivers who are relatives, friends, neighbors, or babysitters and nannies, who are unlicensed or subject to minimal, if any, regulation. The person providing the care is often referred to as the FFN caregiver. Millions of families in the US rely on FFN caregivers while parents work, attend school, or participate in job training. FFN care is used by families of all races and ethnicities, of all income levels, and with children of all ages. Families may choose FFN care because the option is most comfortable and familiar, most flexible, most affordable, or provides children with the most individualized attention. Because of the lack of regulation, historically, there has been little data on FFN caregivers and the quality of care they are providing. The data that we do have speaks to the widespread use of FFN caregivers throughout our country. In 2019, 31% of Black, 25% of Latinx, 23% of Asian Pacific Islanders, and 23% of white children under the age of 6 were regularly in FFN care in the United States. Early projections indicate these figures will be much higher due to factors associated with the pandemic. A 2020 Packard Foundation report found that approximately 80% of children ages 0 to 2 and 40% of children ages 0 to 5 in California are cared for by FFNs. And at SJPL, our data shows that 38% of the caregivers that are early education programming are also FFNs. And we believe that number to be much higher due to the fact that many caregivers wear multiple hats. For example, a mom who brings her own child with a niece or nephew in tow. Next slide, please. Can I give you one more slide? I think it, go back. I think the slides, if you go back one more, sorry about that. Let's start, leave it on that one. Perfect, thank you so much. Perfect, now a very quick overview on the history of how we got to where we are today. In March of 2019, the San Jose City Council approved a family-friendly city proposal authored by City Council member Arenas. Included in the proposal was a charge to explore and implement opportunities to raise the quality of early learning environments for license-exempt home care providers and FFNs. In fall of 2019, we're very fortunate to be able to bring Deborah onto our team to conduct a full environmental scan of the early learning landscape in our city. I'm going to go pass it over to Deborah to tell you more about our environmental scan and the amazing work that she's done supporting FFNs in our community. But before I do that, I really wanted to thank Councilman Arenas for being a visionary and advocate for FFNs and the children and family in their care. This was a big win for the early learning ecosystem in our city and within the county. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
All right, thank you, Araceli. So just to give you a little background on the environmental scan we conducted in 2019, SJPL decided to do this environmental scan to learn more about the caregiver landscape and caregivers' needs in the city of San Jose, and beyond that into thinking about the county of Santa Clara. So the scan included stakeholder interviews, research, and most importantly, caregiver surveys. So after collecting a ton of information, SJPL staff synthesized the data and identified 3 common threads that became the basis of program design and thinking as staff considered how best to support FFN caregivers. So the first thing we learned is that caregivers need opportunities to socialize and network, and they face isolation, and we need to find ways to help them combat isolation. We also learned that FFNs are extremely diverse, and so are their needs. So it's important to build trust with each individual, provide a wide range of opportunities, and recognize that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to supporting FFNs. FFNs, we know now especially well, they appreciate individualized support. They also appreciate choices in their professional development journeys. And last but not least, FFNs have a wide range of socioeconomic, educational, and cultural backgrounds. They face many barriers, including language barriers. Some don't have access to resources or aren't connected to resources, and also they face digital literacy barriers. So a successful program breaks down barriers and makes opportunities easily accessible. For example, knowing that everyone has a mobile phone, knowing that if you use mobile-friendly applications and texting reminders, that you're more likely to get high engagement. Using interpreters, live interpreters, is important for access as well. And we know that we need to meet FFNs exactly where they're at. Next slide, please. So the FFN Caregiver Support Network was launched in 2021, actually January of this year. The program is designed to support license-exempt child care providers of children aged 0 to 8. In partnership with the San Jose Public Library Foundation and First 5 Santa Clara County, this program has been made possible. And we aim to recognize and acknowledge the critical work FFNs do to support families and children. So embedded in every opportunity is affirmation and the reminder that we appreciate FFNs and we recognize their work. Currently, the 6-month pilot cohort is engaged in a wide range of activities meant to support and develop high-quality care. Next slide, please. The program design really is based on 6 important elements or focus areas to promote strong engagement and early program success. And so when designing this, we focused on these 6 areas and then built in the elements, built those elements into it. So community building, of course, was the first thing we wondered, how are we going to do this in a virtual setting? And we realized that it's that consistent recognition of the importance of the work FFNs do, the acknowledgement, and the community building. So encouraging FFNs to share their experiences, knowing that they are the experts on the children they care for. So encouraging them to share their expertise, their knowledge, and also to share their questions and obstacles and challenges. Of course, professional development is key. So we built in high quality, what is the goal? Well, we want children to be receiving high quality care, and we want parents to feel comfortable and good about who's caring for their children. So how do we do that? Well, we built in child development, health and safety, early learning, self-care and wellness. And of course, we've been discussing professional pathways all along. So we support their career and educational development, but we also acknowledge the importance of the FFN role in and of itself. We offer, I think the key to the success of the program so far has been one-on-one staff support. The program participants can text or call SJPL staff anytime during working hours and get answers to their questions and really just easily accessible support. We have a Google Classroom that is our landing place for everything. So every resource that I have for them goes into their Google Classroom. Links are embedded, their PowerPoints are there. They get email alerts when something is posted, so they see opportunities and resources. And that's been a wonderful asset to the program. We did one-on-one intake interviews with each individual, And that really built the rapport between staff and each individual participant. We also had a chance to learn more about their goals and their experiences as caregivers and get to know each other on a first name basis. We do open office hours on Mondays, so they can drop in on Zoom anytime during the day. The Zoom meeting is open and they can ask personal, like individual questions. It could be anything. They've come to me with all sorts of things. We've done one-on-one Zoom tutorials there. Right now they're all working on their trust line registry application, so that's another thing that they meet me on Zoom to get support with. Digital literacy. We knew that with a virtual program, we needed to not only provide devices and hotspots, but we also needed to ensure that people had digital literacy training and support in multiple languages. So we worked with local partners, and also, of course, San Jose Public Library has plenty of opportunities. So we linked individuals who requested specific digital literacy training support with what they needed. So it might have been just they needed a Zoom tutorial, but it also could have been like, I don't understand how to use a hotspot, or I don't know how to use the functions of the internet. Just a wide range of things. In terms of certifications, they all have access to pediatric CPR and first aid certification. Most have completed. We have our last group finishing up on the 29th of May. They have access to Santa Clara County Office of Education's resource and referral certifications for licensing, and they'll also be receiving certificates for every topic and workshop they completed and professional portfolios to walk away from. I was super excited the other day when one of our FFNs reached out and said that she had applied for a job and could I write her a letter of recommendation, and so I went ahead and did that, and it made me feel great to know that she was pursuing actually a position at her local school, and because of the confidence she's gained in this program. And of course, resources, they received extensive supplies, so they received like fire extinguishers, first aid kits, early learning activity kits, books, office supplies to help them engage with this program, and just you name it, we probably put it in there, and they love their supplies. But then again, we also continue to connect them to mindfulness resources and self-care and early learning resources along the way. Next slide, please. So today, I'm extremely proud to report that collectively they have completed 1,251. Actually, tonight we had one, so we've extended. We're actually past this number, but 1,251 professional development hours, which means that they have, on average, reached the minimum 21-hour goal for the program. We have just partnered with so many wonderful partners in the community to offer high quality vetted programming for this group, so that it's based on research and they know they're getting valid information. We had, for instance, tonight, Quality Matters, first 5 representatives came and joined us, and we had Healthier Kids Foundation do a series about healthy habits. We partnered with Resource Area for Teaching to develop early learning activity kits, and the San Jose Fire Department joined us one evening to talk about safety in the home and how you use a fire extinguisher, etc. Next slide, please. So some of our program goals are, I just want to spotlight a few. They have the program goal of completing at least 21 hours of professional development activities over the course of 6 months of this introductory phase. And to date, 76 have completed this requirement. I'm super proud of that. And a few probably crossed that accomplishment this evening as well. So we're approaching that goal. They also, just in when they started this program, they told us a little bit about how they were feeling about their role as caregivers. So we want to see 85% of them reporting increased confidence in their role as a caregiver after 6 months. And we want to see that they're reporting increased knowledge of child development. So like I said, they were asked to set a set of questions in their program applications and intake interviews, and they'll be asked that same set of questions in June 2021. And that's how we'll be able to measure growth. Next slide, please. Just a little bit about our group. We had 59 program applicants, and we have a growing wait list for cohort 2. They collectively care for over, I think it's more than 186, but we know that they're caring for at least 186 children. They speak 13 different languages, and over 39% have shown interest in pursuing education, licensure, and jobs in the childcare field and or K through 12 teaching credentials. So that's another thing that we work on in Zoom office hours, is walking them through those processes. And there's no pressure or to pursue careers or formal education beyond this program. Again, we just recognize the importance of where they're at. But the goal is to support them as they are, and then also to support those who share that they want to pursue anything beyond their current roles or in addition to their current roles. So 45% of them report that they do this work to bond with the child, and that's the main reason. You'll notice that about 20% actually do this for income. So their reasons for caring for children it's an interesting dynamic. Next slide, please. So as you can see, our FFNs are very diverse, and so is the San Jose Public Libraries group of FFNs. A majority in this cohort report that they are Asian and Hispanic women. And we have 2 males, one of whom is an uncle and a father, and he's really engaged, and we just love him. He's a wonderful part of this group, of this program. Over 40% are biologically related to the child or children they care for, which we knew going into this that FFNs tend to be extended family members. We know that families choose FFN care because FFNs provide flexible, low cost, or free care, and that they tend to be culturally and linguistically aligned with the family and the family's choices. Okay, next slide, please. The age range is 19 to 73 years old. Our 19-year-old is a sibling who cares for her younger siblings while mom and dad work. And our 73-year-old is a great-grandmother who has raised multiple generations of children and has also become the leader of the pack for sure. She's always willing to share. She participates, and it's been a blast seeing just this mix of people and age groups coming together with the same intention of providing wonderful, high-quality care. The group has 1 to over 20 years of caregiving experience, and most of them have about 6 to 10 years of experience caring for children, age 0 to 8. Next slide, please. This was perhaps the most surprising information we learned. They have a range of educational backgrounds, but we found that quite a few have post-secondary degrees. And when we dug into that a little bit further, it turns out we have many, many immigrants in our group, and 96% of the people who indicated that they have post-secondary education attended institutions outside of the U.S., and have come here and are able to work right now or have educational backgrounds in completely different fields. So they're brand new to the early learning field and want to either pursue it or learn more in their pursuit of becoming better caregivers or the best caregivers possible. They shared with us that they came to this program with the intention of reaching career goals, and also most often that they wanted to learn and build their knowledge of child development and early care. Next slide, please. Okay, this is Shelly. Shelly is one of our FFN caregivers in the program, and she has, this is her grandson. She recently retired and decided that she would care for her grandson full time, and lives outside of town, but cares for her grandson in San Jose full time during the weekdays. So lives with her daughter during the week. She raised her children, her own children, worked outside of the home, recently retired from that job working outside of the home, and decided to pursue this next phase of her life. She feels that her knowledge is outdated and doesn't know other caregivers in the area or children in the area. And so really what she's indicated is that she wants to do what's best for her grandchildren and raise him to be an awesome person. And she's really looking forward to in-person play dates. Next slide, please. So next steps, we have big plans. In August of 21, of this year, we'll be recruiting, or we'll be actually launching our second cohort. So while the current first cohort continues to dig deeper into some of the topics we've been exploring and getting to know each other better and pursuing their goals, we will also launch a new cohort of 50 FFNs who will be doing the entry level year one program that we're doing now. So like really, really basic child development. And then pending funding in August 2022, we'll launch a robust childcare workforce development program with multiple pathways and opportunities. We're going to focus on offering ECE units with wraparound supports like family meals and childcare, supporting people through the childcare licensing process and building their businesses. But of course, always maintaining that support for our FFNs. And that is it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Deborah. That is wonderful. A couple things, and then I'll ask the commissioners if they have any comments or questions. But a couple things is I don't know that if you highlighted, but this is free, right? All of this program content is offered to our community for free.
Yes, everything is completely free, including the trust line background process, every resource. They do not pay a penny.
That right there is amazing. Folks in the early learning field usually have to pay for that. So that's wonderful for bringing in new people into the early learning space. And the other thing I just want to, besides saying, of course, this is amazing and wonderful, but I just hope the other commissioners might not know that before the pandemic, this was supposed to be a year-long program, and the pandemic hit, and the staff were working really hard, Araceli and Deborah, and they ended up hustling up and saying, okay, we're going to do this online. It was supposed to be in person and in a 6-month window. And so I just want to not only say it's a great program, but that fact that you were so nimble and so quickly moved to online and providing the support and the outcome that you've achieved is incredible. We're really lucky to have you operating this program, and I couldn't be more proud.
Thank you so much. That acknowledgement means the world to us. It was a very quick pivot. I think the pandemic, it would have been easy to say, okay, we're going to wait till next year. I think the drive that our team had to make sure that we were there to support FFNs, knowing that the children in the community really were more than ever, really relying on those caregivers. So you definitely wanted to thank Deborah for coming on really quickly and doing that quick pivot. We are very proud of the program that we've been able to run these 6 months. And we look forward to continuing the growth and development into the next year. So thank you so much for the acknowledgement.
Of course. Other commissioner, any thoughts or questions or comments? Commissioner Thorson first, and then Commissioner Allen second.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this. This is a huge need for the community. I've had so many of my own colleagues leave this area because they couldn't get affordable childcare and didn't have family in the area. So just all this work is really amazing, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioner Allen?
I wanted to thank you as well. And I also wanted to ask, since the program is completely free, that of course means we have to make sure we get continued funding for it. Does any of the funding come from the city budget, or is it all from the Public Library Foundation and First Five?
Right now, we are definitely actively recruiting additional sponsors and partners to join us. We're very fortunate that the library in the city has supported with the seed money to be able to launch this program. So right now, we're kind of looking at where we are after 6 months, kind of evaluating our budget and seeing where we go from here. So I think that's kind of where we're at in the process. We started the program 6 months ago, not really knowing exactly what it would cost to do it virtually. And so right now we're examining what it might look like for next year. So I think to answer your question, I think we're still looking to figure out what that budget ask might look like. and then making sure that we reach out to as many people as possible to be able to support the program.
Thank you.
I will just jump in to add that because of the excellent work of this team of Araceli and Deborah specifically, this project is considered for earmark funding being sponsored by Congresswoman Eshoo and Congressmember Khanna. So we submitted a proposal for $750,000 of federal funds in the next federal budget. And this is one of 10 programs that the two members put forward. And so we're hopeful that that makes it all the way through the appropriations committee, which will fully fund the program and then some for the next year.
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, I was just going to ask that with the federal all the Fed money coming down and the focus in particular, even at the state level, for alternative childcare being highlighted. It's a great timing. I'm so glad you did it anyway. What if you hadn't, we wouldn't have been ready. So it's great. All right. Thank you very much. If there's nothing further, we're going to move on. We are going to move on to item D. We're going to get a summer learning update around the programs. And I think Elizabeth Nolan's and her team's going to lead us off into this presentation and discussion.
Hi. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Vidya Kilambi, Division Manager for Education and Innovation. And today my team and I will present on a preview of summer programs for this year. Next slide, please, Tanika. The COVID-19 pandemic resulted in significant impacts to students throughout San Jose who missed out on in-person classes, school and socialization experiences, while also trying to maintain learning levels through distance digital education. As part of the education and digital literacy strategy, the library is committed to providing supportive programs focused on enrichment, recreation, and skills development. These programs bolster skills needed for academic success, support workforce development, aim to keep our youth safe, increase civic engagement, and enhance social and emotional growth. This summer, we'll be taking a hybrid approach. Most of our programs will be virtual, but as soon as we are allowed to safely transition into in-person programming, we will also start to do that. Next slide, please. And Araceli will present this part of the presentation.
Thank you, Vidya. Araceli, Early Education Manager, back here again. Thank you for your time this evening. Children in San Jose are raised under a diverse set of circumstances, and their healthy development relies on many people, systems, and resources working in collaboration. At San Jose Public Library, we are very proud to be one of those systems in our city that is supporting the children and families who call San Jose home. In a 2018 study that was conducted to capture the social, emotional, cognitive readiness for children entering kindergarten in Santa Clara County, that was conducted, and the results of the study were kind of alarming to us. The results indicated that only 40% of the children in San Jose sample were assessed as fully ready to enter kindergarten. The study also found significant ethnic, racial, and gender disparities in kindergarten readiness in San Jose, with readiness levels significantly higher among girls across some racial and ethnic groups and among white children relative to children of color. The results of the study prompted a call to action. Program staff spent time reflecting on the results of the school readiness assessment and have since utilized the data from the study to help guide program goals and implementation of our early education programming. Our virtual preschool programs and story times have been redesigned to support children in strengthening their developmental domains in a fun and interactive way. Our programs are intentionally designed to provide opportunities for children to practice developing their skills in the following developmental areas: academics, motor skills, self-expression, and self-regulation. What does that look like in action? Our story times in preschools are held through Zoom right now, currently, virtually, allowing the children to see each other and be able to speak with one another and share ideas, thoughts, toys, books, songs, or anything that the child feels is important with their peers. Children developing and strengthening their skills in self-expression as they practice public speaking, sharing their ideas and thoughts. They are also developing and strengthening their skills in self-regulation as they wait patiently for their turn in the Zoom spotlight. Their motor skills through the songs, movements, and activities woven into the program, as well as their academic skills with such learning in math, science, literacy, and through activities that align with the preschool learning foundations. Another big focus of early learning unit has been centered around supporting the caregivers to support the children in their care. One of the ways that we do that is through our Ready for K program. Ready for K is an evidence-based messaging system specifically for caregivers of children ages 0 to 8. When caregivers register and opt into the program, they provide basic information about the child's age to receive weekly text messages that provide information about the child's development, health, wellness, literacy, as well as providing ideas and activities for the child and caregiver to do together. Ready for K is currently offered for free in English, Spanish, and Persian. Next slide, please. Another way the library supports caregivers in our community is through the We Connect and Stay and Play program. We Connect is an opportunity for the San Jose Public Library to offer children's programming to meet the unique needs of informal FFN caregivers and the young children in their care. We Connect is a 6-week storytime program. To the children in the audience, We Connect is just a regular story time, and that's what we love about that. But for the adults, We Connect is filled with talking points, tips, and connections to community organizations, as well as prompts and exercises to bring together and support the interactions between the grown-ups and the child. Each week, caregivers go through the program goes through new topics, with the first week's topic being acknowledging and appreciating the role of the caregiver and how they shape and influence the development and growth of the child in their care. Following each story time is an intentionally planned story stay and play, full of activities that reinforce topics of the story time with activities for caregivers and the child to do together. Caregivers also have the opportunity to connect with the local organizations that are visiting. That allows the caregiver to know about the different resources available to them, and they're able to provide feedback about what they're looking for future programs. By supporting the adults, we further strengthen the safety net for children as they learn and grow in San Jose. You heard from us earlier, so I'm not going to go too much into detail about the FFN Caregiver Support Network. We know that many young children in San Jose and throughout the country spend a significant portion of their time in FFN care. It's important that we recognize their contributions and support their work. The library space, as we've confirmed, is very well positioned to be able to do that. We are very proud of the success we've had with the FFN Caregiver Support Network and its ability to employ a variety of strategies to improve the quality of care offered by FFN providers. So we thank you for your support. Next slide.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Lizzie Nolan. I'm the senior librarian at the Dr. Martin Luther King Library in Youth Services. I'm going to talk to you this evening about summer learning. Summer learning is our 8-week-long literacy initiative that runs June 1st through July 31st. It offers participants incentives for reading and learning. It's the cornerstone of the library's summer learning programming offerings, and it provides an opportunity for children and teens to prevent summer learning loss and be better prepared for the following school year. Summer learning fosters a love of reading. It doesn't matter what, how, or where students read. If they enjoy it, it counts. Students can read novels, nonfiction, comic books, or listen to audiobooks. Summer learning also engages readers of all ages by promoting early literacy skills for participants ages birth to 5 and challenging parents, caregivers, and all adults in the community to model a love of reading. This year's program aligns with the California Library Association's Summer Programming and Quality Principles. These principles take a broad approach to how reading programs engage the whole community. As such, we have such partnerships with the PRNS summer camps, schools and local education agencies, early child care centers, and bridge libraries. Participants can track their reading online with a web app or paper log in 4 languages. And best yet, all the readers under 18 years old can also pick up 2 free books at our express pickup locations when they sign up. Sign-ups start June 1st at www.sjpl.org/summer. Next slide.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Giannuzzi, and I'm a manager of the Alviso branch and Educational Park Branch Libraries. Additionally, I'm overseeing the summer meals program for the library this year. I'm really happy to announce that we're expanding our services over and above what we were able to do last summer. to the 7 sites that are listed here: Alum Rock Library, Edenvale, Educational Park Branch, Hillview, Joyce Ellington, Tully, and West Valley. The program is going to run from June 7th through August 13th. And it's going to be similar to last summer. It's a grab and go format. So it's primarily, I believe we're going to go exclusively at this year with cold foods. Warm food is an option where caregivers can take meals home and heat them up at home. But I think the cold food is going to be more preferred amongst the branches. We're happy to be supported again this year by the YMCA, Second Harvest of Silicon Valley, Revolution Foods, and the California Library Association. Got a few notes here I want to make sure to capture. The program's going to run Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 12:30 at all locations. So that way we're able to deliver the food prior to opening for our either express pickup services or reduced capacity in branch services, which open at 1 p.m. daily. We're projecting, we're going to, we anticipate meals to start at probably around 200 per week between all the locations. And we're projecting that might ramp up to as much as 340 meals per day across the library system. And that does include the library's partnership and support of Parks and Rec's program, Camp San Jose Strong, which is taking place at 3 of our summer lunch locations, Alum Rock, Educational Park, and Hillview branches. Lastly, we're in the process of training additional staff. We've got a number of staff that have been trained and certified over the past several years, but the certification lasts just 3 years. And so we're in the process of getting an additional 19 staff members trained system-wide to support the program. And we're positioned well. I'm anticipating a really vibrant summer where we can support our communities with food service. So next slide, and I'll turn it over to Kyle.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Kyle Burkett. I am a senior librarian with the Hillview, Alum Rock, and the Mount Pleasant branches. And I'm also the chair of the graphic novel making contest. I have been for the last 3 years. This year is our 13th annual contest. It runs concurrent with the summer reading program, summer learning program, June 1 to July 31st. Our submissions are always judged by a panel of library staff and industry professionals. And they are published online via our Biblia Boards collection. And also we are happy to say that we're able to collect them in a published book as well. And we'll be doing some reprints for the comics that we were not able to do last year. Every year we create a complimentary schedule of programs to help participants increase their knowledge of comic book creation and just general info in the publishing industry. Last year, that looks like 38 different programs, and we had a total attendance of over 907 views. Our contest submissions last year had about 175, down slightly from the years before, but we hope that will go back up this year. And we are also in our third year with a new partnership with DC Comics, which is pretty cool. So we have some excellent speakers on tap for this summer. And then the big event to end it all is, of course, our virtual awards ceremony. That is going to be Saturday, August 28th from 2 to 4 p.m. With our city librarian, Jill Bourne. So for everything related to graphic novels, we also, this year, we have a new official website, which is very simple. It's just sjpl.org/graphic novels, and you can check that out for all of our blog content and for all of our programs information there. So I will pass along to next slide, please.
Good evening, commissioners. I'm Samantha Kramer. I'm the Education and Programming Services Manager for the library. I oversee a team of wonderful librarians who work on our system-wide STEAM, Coding 5K, and Maker Spaceship programs, and I'm very excited today to be talking with you about our school age programs over the summer. Firstly, I will talk a little bit about our STEAM learning and then move into some of our virtual camp programs. So for summer 2021, much like summer 2020, we will provide a range of virtual STEAM programs for school-age learners, including a return of our Grab and Go STEAM Kit program, coding programs as part of the Coding 5K Challenge, and other enrichment activities in alignment with the education and digital literacy strategy. The Grab and Go Kit STEAM kits, which were piloted by the library in summer 2020, feature supplies necessary for a STEAM-based activity or experiment, and come with a link to online video instructions put together by one of my wonderful librarians, Elizabeth Allen. These kits will be available for pickup during our express pickup hours, and also available once we potentially open up for in-person. They can be picked up by browsers as well. And were very popular when they debuted in summer 2020, with over 7,000 kits given out across the entire system from July through December of 2020. We also plan to continue our annual 8 STEAM and coding-based summer camps at multiple library locations, including several camps designed for girls, in order to encourage more young women to get involved in STEM fields. These camps provide a balance of STEAM curricula, opportunities for social learning, and coding and robotics experiences. In accordance with the county health guidelines, all summer library programs will be offered virtually, including our Coding 5K Summer Camp series. This is the second year that we will be all virtual. We learned quite a bit last year that we hope to put into place this year. Camps will still be facilitated by certified K-12 teachers, and campers will receive a pack of STEAM Challenge activity supplies prior to their camp start date to remove any barriers for children fully participating in the camp. Camps will also feature enrichment from community partners and guest speakers via our online platform. The library is committed to ensuring that underserved students can attend and enjoy our coding camps and programs, and as such, we have developed an outreach plan to reach those students with camp registration information. Though all camps will still be virtual and therefore not hosted physically at a branch site, SJPO will still lean on targeted branches in certain high-need zip codes to best reach that community. We will also utilize existing relationships with schools in those neighborhoods to partner with the teachers and administrators to get the word out to students and families about camp registration. Moving on to our Read, Write, and Discover program, multiple SJPL sites will host Read, Write, and Discover over the summer 2021, which is a volunteer-led or academic support agency designed to reduce summer slide in participating learners. These sessions, like all summer 2021 programming, as I mentioned, will be hosted online. Read, Write, Discover is an excellent organization that provides school-aged children the opportunity to learn and practice their skills over the summer, while also providing vital social interaction with their peers. Our SJ Learns grant-funded programs are supporting programs in the Franklin McKinley School District this summer in partnership with Catholic Charities, as well as the Luther Burbank School District. The projected number of students expected to be served in summer programs this year is 730 through both of those programs. And with that, I will turn it over to the next slide and to my colleague, Lauren Hancock.
Oh no, I'm not college and career.
Oh, my apologies. I skipped Adrian.
No
I'm
worries.
turning it over to Adrian McBride.
Adrian McBride.
Thank you. My name is Adrian McBride. I'm a community programs administrator with Partners in Reading. And I'm just going to go over a couple of college and career summer opportunities with y'all. First off, for this summer, San Jose Aspires will pilot a few different opportunities for students in the program. The first one is what we're calling a summer pathway, which highlights awards students may claim in order to receive up to $500 in Scholar Dollars micro scholarships. These awards are work experience, volunteer experience, school break enrichment, so things like summer camps, things of that sort. Learn to code, and SJ Engage's online curriculum. In addition, the first 100 students to claim all 5 of these awards will be entered into a drawing for a $10 gift card. One of the ways the students can claim the Learn to Code award this summer is by completing an SJ Aspires coding boot camp. So students in SJ Aspires at San Jose High School and Oberfeld High School will have priority registration for this boot camp. In addition, program supporters have generously donated funds to support students in summer enrichment through summer programs at nearby colleges. Students are selected for this opportunity based on the number of awards they claimed in the last school year. And then at the end of the summer, SJ Inspires is piloting an essay contest in which the students will describe their summer well spent. And we will be giving the winner of that a gift card. And then Teen HQ recently conducted a survey in spring of 2021 with over 1,000 high school and middle school students. Students shared their distance learning struggles with mental and social emotional health. Based on this feedback, Teen HQ programs will focus on helping students transition back to in-person learning, especially around creativity, play, and connecting with their peers. For example, Teen HQ is partnering with Work to Future to host a paid summer program for 20 students in person and online that focus on social emotional learning and creative expression. And with that, now I think we are time to pass it on to Lauren Hancock.
Thank you, Adrian. Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Hancock. I'm a Community Programs Administrator for the Public Library, working on expanded learning. So starting with our School City Collaborative, in addition to the regular scheduled meetings that we had, we hosted 2 special workshops this spring, in line and supportive of our School City Collaborative work plan, one around SJ Access and the other around expanded learning. Our workshop was paid specific attention to developing pathways for partnerships, strength-based collaborations, and an exchange of ideas about prioritizing city programs that supported our current issues and recovering from the academic impacts of the pandemic. Resilience Corps is our new pilot. It's a workforce development program launched by the mayor and managed by the San Jose Public Library that aims to accelerate learning growth among our low-income K-12 students by connecting qualified staff to local education agencies or expanded learning providers. The pilot will start with 40 core members, and we are looking to partner with San Jose State College of Education and other local community colleges to recruit and place interested college students in those positions that support their educational attainment and our K-12 students. After that placement, the chosen and qualified agencies will train and support our core members. The College and Career Readiness Logic Model is coordinating efforts across multiple departments, and it is for a full overview of the program for teens and young adults ages 14 to 29. It's also to improve awareness about the college and career readiness programs in other departments, including general programming, apprenticeships, internships, and other similar opportunities. In the fall, we will also work on the implementation of quality standards for expanded learning and digital literacy. They'll follow the cycle of program assessment, quality improvement plans, taking place twice yearly with quarterly program and site check-ins across Parks and Rec departments and libraries. Digital literacy quality standards will also follow a similar cadence beginning in the summer of 2021, with the rollout beginning with Coding 5K and the FLC digital literacy programs. Assessments will take place across all the programs 3 times per fiscal year, with guided quality improvement plans created after each scoring cycle. Doing some research and identifying expanded learning student support. This bullet point comes from all that we have learned this past year through the pandemic, but specifically from our School City Collaborative group. We did some polling during our April meeting, some follow-up surveys, and we have some planned programs that include some Work to Future internship camps, some programs associated with more in-depth social emotional learning and quality standard alignments based on some of the feedback that was shared, anti-racist book lists and class kits. And all of our programs are being designed to be responsive of the youth survey that went out that Lizzie's team did and the School City Collaborative input data. Next slide. Thank
All right. I was just going to say, if anybody's going to close, or I'll just close for you and then ask the commissioners if they have comments or questions.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity to present. If you have any questions, we are very happy to answer.
Don't see any hands just yet, but perhaps they'll come.
I could certainly kick off by saying, I don't even know where to begin. It's so much work. The body of work is huge. I can't even, I mean, I can't, I'm so consistently proud to be a part of this organization. It's amazing, really amazing. The work is, it's a huge body of work. So I just want to say thank you. Any others? All right, thank you. We will move on. Checking in with to see if we have council liaison. I think we do. Hi, how are you? We're happy to have Councilmember Arenas' staff with us to give us an update.
That's right. Thank you, Chair Wendy. So hi, my name is Mariela Garcia. I'm a council assistant with Councilmember Arenas. And as always, it's really nice to be here with you tonight. I do have a few announcements. And the first is, if you recall from last month, our Youth Commission has done the really hard and important work of updating the San Jose Bill of Rights for Children and Youth, which was unanimously adopted by the City Council. I wanted to let you know also that last week, Councilmember Arenas introduced a memo for an audit of the city's adherence to the Bill of Rights for Children and Youth. And an audit is going to help increase accountability. It'll help the city focus and really manage the articles within the Bill of Rights so that any lack of services can be addressed. I'm happy to report that the idea was welcomed by the city auditor, and an update on how it will be integrated into the Office of the City Auditor's work plan for next year is something to look out for in early fall. So we will make sure to keep you updated on that. I also wanted to remind you that it is budget season, and there are many opportunities coming, especially in June, to advocate on behalf of the needs of children and families, and really to make sure that the city is investing in those families, and that the upcoming budget adequately supports and includes things like 100% scholarships for recreational preschool and childcare, tutoring support at ROC sites and Title I schools, and also, and this one is really important, right, because of the impacts of the pandemic, but investing in social, emotional, and mental health services for children and youth. So we are going to make sure that you stay connected to opportunities to speak before council, to submit letters of support, because as residents, right, as commissioners, as advocates, you hold a lot of power, and your voice can definitely influence what the city of San Jose invests in. So please look out for invitations to do that from me. And finally, along with budget season also comes a lot of study sessions and changes in regular schedules. And so I just wanted to let you know that the Neighborhood Services and Education Committee, NSC, which is chaired by Councilmember Arenas, is actually meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. And some of the items that are being heard include the Public Life Annual Report, the Youth Commission Report, and the Fair Housing Assessment Report. And so we hope that you will tune in and join us if you can. And that is all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariela. And please let Councilmember know how much we support all the work she's doing on behalf of our kids.
Of course.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. I really don't have, I think all the announcements I would have, we all know the budget season is in, and we're looking at, I'm watching what's happening at the federal and the state level and the local level. So I really don't have too much because we're right in the middle of it. So let's see, Anne or Michelle, do you want to do the chair's announcement since Jill's not here?
No,
Yeah, I will
Jill
go.
is here. Jill just joined us.
Okay.
Jill has joined us, but I'm going to go ahead and do the director's announcement.
Okay.
Yay. Yay. Okay. All right. So got 4 major things to report on tonight. So this month is Asian American Pacific Islanders Heritage Month, and the SJPL's racial equity team recognizes that month in the midst of these increased acts of anti-Asian violence, discrimination, and harassment. Our library staff has compiled a list of programs, resources, and action items to highlight AAPI voices and participate in deeper learning opportunities. The breadth of our programs and our collection is highlighted on our website and also through a series of online programs, which include group support spaces during the month of May in response to the recent acts of violence against Asian Americans, and Pacific Islanders in our community, as well as an intersections program, which creates a space for LGBTQ voices, Chinese English story times presented by Polydot. And then also our Family Learning Center coordinators are hosting weekly community conversation hour series that feature presentations by AAPI leaders. For a complete list of these events, please visit www.sjpl.org/events. Next thing that we have, as Lizzie has presented, is that summer learning is back. And so everyone is invited to read for a chance to win prizes. And again, all you have to do is register for our annual summer learning program, track the minutes that you read, and all of this is available at sjpl.org/summer. And tomorrow, San Jose Public Library's Partners in Reading unit, the unit that provides our adult literacy services to our residents of San Jose, will be hosting a recognition event for all of the volunteers that participate and help our learners. The event will be held tomorrow via Zoom from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. We can go ahead and we'll drop the link in the chat, and we can also send it out to you. This is really important because our volunteers are absolutely critical to our success. And this volunteer recognition event really has a chance to highlight all of the incredible efforts and the dedication for all of those, both the learners and their tutors. And lastly, this is what I'm really excited about. We are finally, and as you know, that we've been reporting for 14 months on our COVID response and where we are with our services. Really excited because Monday, May 24th, which is just 5 days away, 7 of our locations will be open for indoor service. So you can come to our libraries, look at the books again, look at the DVDs, check out devices, get a library card, talk to staff, and be able to use our services. So those 7 libraries are Allenbrock, Alviso, Biblioteca Latinoamericana, Evergreen, Joyce Ellington, Tully, and West Valley Branch. These libraries will open at 50% capacity, and we're going to keep the same express service hours with the addition of Saturday hours, though. We'll be open from 10 to 6 on Saturdays. We are planning already for the next phase of branches that will be open, and we'll be announcing those dates as well. Our goal and intention is that every council district is represented, and that our lowest resourced, our libraries serving our lowest resourced communities are going to be prioritized first to have access. So we are continuing to work alongside the City of San Jose's EOC and Safe Workplaces team to ensure that all of our libraries are going to be open safely. And in the meantime, the other locations, they're still going to be operating express pickup, and you can place your holds on items, pick them up there too. And our ref chat team will also still be available to answer questions for our members. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Yay, wonderful. We're opening. Oh, life is halfway getting to normal. Thank you for doing that for us and Michelle. Okay, any questions or comments from commissioners? All right, moving on. Jill and Ann, I forgot where we left off with Youth Commission. Are we gonna have a report, or are we? Yeah, all right. Let's move on to Youth Commission report or announcement.
Hi everyone, my name is Paula Escobar and I'm a District 8 Youth Commissioner for the City of San Jose. And I'm just here to provide you some updates as to what the Youth Commission has been doing throughout this year. So at the beginning of the year, we kind of function in the sense that every district has one Youth Commissioner. We all each individually run our own youth advisory councils, and I'll be focusing more on discussing what we have done on a commission-wide level. So starting at the beginning, our first kind of citywide initiative was to get youth feedback on hiring the new police chief and kind of seeing what youth want to see in the new police chief. And then we talked a lot about, as mentioned by Mariela, just the process of kind of re-envisioning the Youth Bill of Rights for the City of San Jose and updating it, as last one hasn't been updated since 2010. So as mentioned previously, this has been passed, and now we will kind of follow up with those measures on the city level. Another town hall initiatives that we've had is we took in a lot of youth feedback on budget allocations and kind of gotten a lot of perspective onto where budget priorities are in terms of the San Jose City departments. And as of right now, we are currently in the works of hosting a celebration event for the Youth Commission. It is I'm forgetting the year, it's either like 25th or 50th anniversary of the Youth Commission, but we're going to be celebrating that soon on June, I believe it's June, is it 4th or 5th? It's one of those 2 dates, but it's going to be a celebration event held completely virtually and just a place where we'll be able to share recognition of all the accomplishments that we've done and just all the different things that we have done. And alongside the commission-wide stuff, as I mentioned previously, each Youth Advisory Council has been working on things such as policies and also events. I know in District 8 Youth Advisory Council, we recently held the Youth Empowerment Symposium where we talked about climate action, immigrant rights, and racial justice. And then similarly, other councils have had their own events, such as like a policy creating event. And I know some policies that were brought up on the commission level include ones that would make menstrual products available in all public spaces in San Jose, and other ones involving climate action and making sure that wood gets recycled. So stuff of that nature often gets discussed in the Youth Commission, and we do meet at the end of the month on every, like, it tends to be on last Monday of every month. So if you have any questions or want any feedback on that one, I'm happy to share with you the agendas and anything else that any other information that you may want. And so if you have any questions, then feel free to drop them in the chat or say anything, but thank you.
Thank you, Paula. That's great. Commissioners, any questions or comments for Paula? All right. Thank you so much for telling us about all your great work. We really appreciate it. We really do. Okay, moving on. Are there any commissioners that want to talk about any events they went to as commissioners or announcements that they want to share? Janice Allen, Commissioner Allen, you're up.
Hi. I was able to attend the virtual community budget session on May 13th at 6 p.m. and spoke on behalf of the library. I want to thank the Library Foundation for their wonderful set of talking points. I hope what I said helped and didn't hinder the library, so I was able to do that.
Thank you. Any others? All right, let's see. I think we're going to have an announcement or updates from Commissioner Thorson on the foundation.
Hi, everyone. So my announcement for this month focuses on the work of the Advocacy Committee. So that is comprised of members of the Foundation Board, members of the Library Commission, so myself and Commissioner Magana, and members of Friends of the Library. And so as Commissioner Allen mentioned, talking points were sent out. And so hopefully many of you were able to send those to friends and colleagues to speak in support of the library at the community budget meetings. I was able to attend the one on the 15th, and there was a really great comment by one of the library staff. And unfortunately, I couldn't stay for the whole session, so I don't know if anyone else was able to join, but thank you so much for everyone for participating. And I just wanted to mention that you can submit letters to your council members and letters to the editor for local papers to voice your support for the library programs. Just really use as many opportunities as you can, because as you know, some funds have been restored, there will still be library cuts to library hours at I cannot do math at the moment, but out of the 25 branches, only 13 will have full hours with that partial restoration of funding. And also that's a one-time restoration of funding. So if that is not made permanent next year, we'll have to go back and continue to request more money. So ideally we would get the full restoration for all of our 25 branches. And if you need any information about the talking points or additional, have any additional questions, please reach out, and members from the advocacy committee can help you out. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for all that work. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just want to make sure I have one last call for any public announcements. It can be from the commissioners, or if there are folks that are still with us that would like to have any time to do a public comment. So I'm just looking for hand raised icons. All right, looks like we'll be keep moving it along. Of course, you'll see in our agenda all the opportunities for upcoming participation, which there is a ton. And of course, on the website, if you want to see more of the program calendar events, go to the website. Are there any folks that would like us to consider items for future commission meeting agendas? And if so, raise your hand and we'll call on you. Doesn't look like we have any hands going once, twice, sold. Moving on. The next regular meeting is going to be held virtually June 16th, 2021 at 7 p.m. And now we're getting ready for adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Commissioner Allen.
Thank you, Commissioner Allen. Can I have a second?
Commissioner Yuri, too, a second.
Thank you, Commissioner. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed to adjourning? Anybody like to abstain from adjourning? Oh, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one.
Take care. Thank you.
Good.